Welcome to Florence Rena Sabin, the scientist's blueprint. This visual narrative explores a legacy built on precision and public service. On the left, we see the foundation of Sabin's career, a detailed anatomical sketch of the brainstem, marking her groundbreaking work in microscopic research and histology. As we move through the magnifying glass, the view shifts to a technical blueprint of Colorado. This transition represents her remarkable second act, where she pivoted from the lab to legislative reform, applying her empirical rigor to transform the state's public health system. From the human cell to the body politic, Sabin proved that the same scientific discipline used to map the nervous system could be used to heal a community. Witness the internal machinery of Florence Sabin's early life. 3 powerful gears drive her toward her destiny. At the top, the tragedy of losing her mother to puerperal fever fuels a deep-seated need to combat disease. Below that, her father's thwarted medical dreams serve as a silent motivator, while the mentorship of her uncle Albert and the legacy of Dr. Levi Sabin provide the intellectual spark. These influences flow into Smith College, where she earned her zoology degree in 1893. This academic engine refined her raw experiences into a focused mission. The result is the lighthouse scene on the right, a lifelong drive to conquer infectious disease and fulfill a dormant family legacy. Follow the ascending steps of Florence Sabin's early career, where grit meets opportunity. To fund her dreams, she first taught mathematics in Denver, carefully saving for tuition. Her path continued as a zoology assistant at Smith College and Woods Hole, sharpening the laboratory skills that would become her hallmark. The ultimate destination was the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Her entry in 1896 was made possible by the Hopkins Mandate, a conditional endowment from female donors led by Mary Elizabeth Garrett, requiring women be admitted on equal terms with men. Sabin successfully climbed these stairs to become one of only 14 women in a class of 45, marking a pivotal victory for gender equality in medical education. Step into the laboratory where Florence Sabin learned to visualize the unseen. In the late 19th century, neuroanatomy was a spatial puzzle. Students struggled to comprehend the brainstem's complexity using only flat microscope slides. This was the problem. Under the mentorship of Franklin P. Mall, Sabin engineered the solution. She meticulously traced microscopic cross-sections of a newborn's nervous system, stacking them to reveal the organ's true three-dimensional architecture. The impact was monumental. Her 1901 publication, An Atlas of the Medulla and Midbrain, became a foundational textbook. Remarkably, Sabin secured her national reputation as a premier scientist while still an intern, proving that a clearer view of the microscopic could redefine medical education forever. Enter the arena of biological debate where Florence Sabin challenged the scientific status quo. The lymphatic system debate pitted Sabin's centrifugal model against the traditional centripetal view held by her peers. While opponents relied on static analysis of dead tissue, Sabin pioneered a dynamic approach. By injecting colored dyes into living pig embryos, she provided undeniable empirical proof: the lymphatic system buds outward from the venous endothelium. This discovery settled a major anatomical mystery and transformed her career. Sabin's rigorous evidence-based victory earned her a full professorship at Johns Hopkins, making her the first woman to ever achieve that rank at the institution. From this microscopic triumph, a monumental legacy in medical research was solidified. Behold the institutional vanguard. Starting in 1917, Florence Sabin began a relentless march through the gates of academia, becoming the first woman to hold a full professorship at an American medical college. By 1924, her peers recognized her authority, electing her the first female president of the American Association of Anatomists. The year 1925 marked a systemic shift. She became the first female department head at the Rockefeller Institute, and the first woman elected to the National Academy of Sciences. For 2 decades, she remained the Academy's lone female voice. Sabin didn't just join the establishment, she reshaped it, proving through a series of firsts that scientific excellence is indifferent to gender. Observe the shift from static study to life in motion. Traditional histology required killing cells to study them, capturing a lifeless snapshot, much like a pinned, monochromatic butterfly. Florence Sabin broke this mold with her mastery of supravital staining. By applying non-toxic dyes like neutral red and Janus green to living tissues, Sabin turned the microscope into a window onto active biological dramas. This technique allowed her to witness cell differentiation and the maturation of blood cells as they occurred. Most poignantly, it enabled her to see the very first heartbeat in a living chick embryo. Sabin proved that the most profound scientific truths are found not in the stillness of death, but in the vibrant pulse of life. Enter the microscopic battleground of the biochemistry of tuberculosis. At the Rockefeller Institute, Florence Sabin moved beyond traditional anatomy into the realm of cellular chemistry to deconstruct a killer. First, in chemical extraction, she collaborated with chemists to isolate the specific lipid, protein, and carbohydrate fractions of the bacterium. Next, she identified that monocytes act as the primary cellular vehicles responding to these specific chemical triggers. Finally, in a groundbreaking revelation, Sabin proved that these chemical components alone, even without live bacteria, could induce the formation of the disease's signature tubercles. By isolating the chemical cause from the living organism, Sabin unlocked a new understanding of the body's immune response, revolutionizing the study of the White Plague. Step outside the laboratory to witness the scientist and the suffragist. Florence Sabin believed that to exert proper influence, women must utilize all the brains we have. This slide illustrates her dual-track advocacy on a societal scale. As part of the academic elite, she secured the future of female researchers by funding prizes and maintaining international research stations. Simultaneously, she served as a grassroots activist, bridging the gap between academia and the working class. From co-founding political organizations to marching in the 1911 New York suffrage parade, Sabin fought for the vote with the same rigor she applied to her slides. She proved that true progress requires both institutional support and collective, boots-on-the-ground action. Welcome to the final, macroscopic chapter, Diagnosing the Body Politic. In 1944, at age 73, Governor John Vivian appointed Florence Sabin to chair Colorado's Health Subcommittee, expecting a quiet figurehead for his administration. He was profoundly mistaken. Treating the entire state as a single patient, Sabin launched the examination, personally surveying all 63 counties with lab-honed precision. Her diagnosis revealed a systemic crisis. Health laws untouched since 1876, unpasteurized milk, and death rates for preventable diseases doubling the national average. By applying her signature empirical rigor to populations, Sabin proved that the same magnifying glass used to study cells could expose the rot in public policy. The scientist had become the state's most formidable doctor. Witness the legislative engine of 1947, Florence Sabin's final masterstroke. No longer peering through a microscope, she now re-engineered the machinery of government. Through 4 interconnected gears, Sabin overhauled Colorado's health. She reorganized the board to end political patronage, increased TB allowances to save lives, and created district health units to bring modern medicine to rural outposts. By aligning with Hilberton standards, she unlocked millions in federal funding. Sabin wasn't just a theorist, she was a political powerhouse. When the old guard resisted, she campaigned statewide to unseat them. This macroscopic victory proved that a scientist's precision could mend the broken gears of a state, ensuring health was no longer a privilege, but a professional standard. Behold the quantifiable impact of Florence Sabin's final act, the Denver Transformation. As manager of health and charities from 1947 to 1951, Sabin treated the city as her final, complex specimen. The data tells a story of radical healing. Driven by mass X-ray surveys, tuberculosis incidence was slashed by half, while syphilis frequency plummeted from 700 to a mere 60 per 100,000. Beyond the charts, she overhauled the city's hygiene, mandating milk pasteurization and deploying trash collection armies to defeat rat populations. We conclude with the crowning recognition of a life without precedent, the 1951 Albert Lasker Public Service Award. The American Public Health Association famously noted her distinction of having crowded 3 distinguished careers into one lifetime. This slide celebrates the trifecta, from her beginnings as a groundbreaking Hopkins histologist, to her era as a Rockefeller cytologist, and finally, her transformative years as a Colorado public health administrator. Sabin's impact was so profound that in 1959, Colorado further honored her legacy by placing a bronze statue in the U.S. Capitol's National Statuary Hall. From the microscopic slide to the halls of Congress, Florence Sabin's blueprint for excellence remains a permanent fixture in the history of American medicine. We arrive at the synthesis of a remarkable life, the micro-to-macro philosophy. You might wonder how a cellular biologist managed to overhaul a broken state health system. The secret lay in her gaze. Sabin viewed Colorado not as a political map but as a living organism. Just as she once used supravital stains to illuminate disease cells under a lens, she deployed rigorous county-by-county surveys to isolate the pathologies within public policy. Her enduring genius was consistency. She applied the same empirical, laboratory precision to the body politic as she did to the human cell. In Sabin's world, there was no scale too small for passion, and no system too large for the scientific method.